You spend hours studying, truly dedicating yourself with focus and discipline, but the next day, boom. Almost 70% of what you learned simply evaporates. Frustrating, right? And worse, it feels like all your effort was in vain. But here's a liberating truth. It's not your fault. Your brain is naturally programmed to discard information it deems unnecessary. In other words, everything that isn't reviewed, applied, or frequently reactivated simply disappears. Now here's something almost no one tells you. In Japan, students memorize over 2,000 kanji characters and keep them in their minds for a lifetime. How is that possible? It's definitely not by highlighting or rereading textbooks like zombies. The difference lies in the method, not brute force. Your teacher probably never explained this to you, but the reason you forget is not laziness, lack of intelligence, or discipline. It's the traditional study model that is silently sabotaging you. Popular techniques like rereading notes or highlighting entire paragraphs may seem productive, but the brain interprets them as irrelevant information. It's like an internet ad banner. You see it, but your brain has already learned to ignore it. Be honest, how many times have you stayed up all night reviewing material only to experience a total blank during the test? This happens because of the dreaded forgetting curve, an invisible force that erases almost everything in just 24 hours. Within 3 days, what remains are mere breadcrumbs of memory. But what if there were a way to hack your brain and break this cycle? The Japanese discovered this centuries ago. The secret is not to study more, but to study strategically, intelligently, and actively. And the best part? You don't need to read hundreds of pages of scientific articles to understand how this works. I've already done the heavy lifting for you. After analyzing between 400 and 500 pages full of data and discoveries, I've summarized the essentials. Here are 5 scientifically proven techniques that the best learners in the world use to master any subject without having to spend endless hours buried in books or colorful summaries. Ready to transform the way you study? Let's dive into them together. 1. Active recall, the samurai approach to memory. Most people study by focusing only on inputting information, reading, watching videos, underlining sentences. But the real power of memory lies in output. It's like training a muscle. It only grows when challenged. Every time you try to remember something without looking at the books, you strengthen your neural connections. That is, the more you strive to retrieve information, the more solidly it becomes in your mind. How can you apply this practically? Simple. Close the book, grab a blank sheet of paper, and write down everything you can remember about the content. At first, this will feel uncomfortable, maybe even frustrating. And that discomfort is precisely what indicates you're on the right track. The challenges make your brain work harder, and that effort is what truly consolidates learning. Over time, you'll find that as you mentally revisit the content, it becomes clearer and easier to access. While Western students cram for information, Japanese students cultivate knowledge like those who sharpen a sword with patience, repetition, and intention. This active recall process is like a constant practice that transforms learning into something lasting and meaningful, not just temporary. 2. The Kumon method. Learning in small, powerful steps. The Kumon method, originating in Japan, is a simple yet incredibly effective learning approach. Instead of trying to absorb large volumes of information at once, which can lead to mental overload, Kumon proposes breaking knowledge into small, progressive, and totally manageable steps. The central idea is to cultivate the habit of daily study with brief yet consistent lessons that continuously reinforce concepts until they become natural and automatic. This strategy strengthens the foundation of knowledge and prevents burnout, allowing students to progress with safety and confidence. Writer James Clear, in his bestseller Atomic Habits, reinforces this logic by stating that small daily improvements, even by just 1%, can lead to extraordinary transformations over time. Continuous progress, no matter how small it seems, accumulates and multiplies exponentially. Improving a little every day is the key to lasting growth, and this is exactly what Kumon is based on. Gradual mastery without rush, respecting individual pace. This method not only develops a more solid memory and deeper understanding, but also creates consistent learning habits that accompany students throughout their lives. It's a philosophy of constant progress, focusing on evolving consistently, with calm, discipline, and efficiency. Therefore, Kumon is not just a teaching methodology, but a philosophy of life where each small daily advancement is celebrated. By following this approach, students learn that true success doesn't come from making big, quick jumps, but from a continuous path of evolution. The impact of this method goes beyond school grades. It forms resilient individuals, able to face challenges with patience and perseverance. 3. Spaced repetition, the gardening technique for your brain. Imagine your memory is like a garden. Instead of dumping all the water at once, you water it at strategic intervals so that the roots strengthen and the plant grows healthily. That's what spaced repetition does. It refreshes your memories before they start to wilt and fade away. The key is to review content at increasing intervals. 24 hours after the first exposure, then after 72 hours, a week later, and then after a month. Each review cycle reinforces the neural pathway, making the memory clearer, more lasting, and accessible when needed. Japanese students master this technique. They don't leave everything for the night before the test. Instead, they invest in regular reviews, keeping knowledge always fresh and at the forefront of their minds. The secret is simple: review before forgetting, not after, creating a natural retention process. 4. Kaizen, the power of continuous. 1% improvement daily. The Japanese Kaizen method is the art of constant improvement through small and consistent steps. Forget exhaustive cramming the night before the test. With Kaizen, evolution is daily, without overload and without intense pressure. An improvement of just 1% per day may seem insignificant, but in a month, you'll be 30% better with less stress and more retention. And the best part, it requires only 6 minutes a day. 2 minutes of active recall, 2 minutes of spaced repetition, 2 minutes of focused practice. It's like sharpening your mind with a gentle touch every day. With discipline and consistency, you build not just knowledge, but also confidence, drop by drop. And over time, these small adjustments create a powerful and transformative impact, reflecting significant results. 5. Su, the art of deep focus. Mastering a skill goes far beyond understanding the technique. It's mainly about cultivating the right mindset. In Japan, there is a fascinating concept called Su, a state of deep focus where the mind merges completely with the task at hand. In this state, there are no external distractions. It's as if the person becomes an extension of the work itself, immersed in total presence and concentration. Japanese students, for instance, use small rituals to signal to their brains that it's time to learn. They create an environment conducive to concentration, lighting a candle, always using the same pen, or organizing their desk before starting. It may seem simple, but these small gestures activate a powerful mental trigger, helping the brain prepare for total immersion in learning. So, how can you improve your focus? Start with the basics. 1. Eliminate visual and auditory distractions. 2. Always study in the same place, creating a predictable and welcoming environment. 3. Adopt a symbolic ritual before starting, such as taking a deep breath or organizing your space. These small actions have the power to prepare your brain to absorb content more effectively. When we turn studying or working into a ritualized habit, learning becomes easier, more natural, and believe it or not, even enjoyable. By creating these moments of deep focus, you are practicing a form of self-mastery and mental discipline, significantly increasing your productivity and ability to learn. Think of the last time you truly mastered something, perhaps a sport, an instrument, or even a video game. You didn't just watch, you practiced, made mistakes, adjusted, and persisted. This process is the true essence of learning. It's not about following a path without mistakes, but about learning from each error and pushing forward. Learning doesn't have to be exhausting. It should be smart, efficient, and yes, even easy. When you use the right methods, the process becomes smoother and progress feels natural. Now you have a choice. Keep cramming content in a rush, forgetting it within days, or apply these methods and evolve consistently, like the best do. True learning is the one that is applied in daily practice, bringing lasting results. Remember, the top 1% don't just consume these ideas, they implement them strategically and consistently. They know that true success doesn't come from consuming more, but from applying what has been learned. So, are you going to take action or just watch? The first step is always the most important, and change begins when you decide to take action. Try one of these strategies today. Then, let me know in the comments what worked best for you. I'm curious to hear your experience. Subscribe for more tips on focus, productivity, and success. Transformation starts with one step. The next one could be yours.